We're working on pool homes today. Let's talk about homes with private pools. Now, we're going to make some assumptions. We're going to assume that we're in the two counties, Hernando and Pasco. We're going to assume we want no monthly fees. So that'll take out most of the deed restrictions, or most and all the deed restrictions, because if there's no monthly fee, there's no HOA. So there's 460 of them. We're also going to assume that our buyers do not want to be in a flood zone. Have a choice. You wouldn't want to be in a flood zone. Finally, we're going to make sure we're only looking at single family homes. We're down to 320. And we're going to assume that we're not wanting a neighborhood 55 and older. There's only one in the whole group. So let's take it out. We're down to 319. And we're going to assume we want a garage. We're down to 280. So how do you figure out what the best deal is? Well, the challenge is you have to go apples to apples. So 138 of them have 3 bedrooms. 47 of them have 2 bedrooms. Now, the 2-bedroom houses are going to be the cheapest ones. In fact, the 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, there's only 4 of them. These will be the cheapest 4 houses in pool. Well, no, there's a $294,000. So much for logic. This is real estate. This is $139,000 price to sell. Now, here's another question, and that is, are we cash buyers or are we requiring financing? Now, this home doesn't have any, this house is probably not going to finance, so let's skip this one. Here we go in the Lakes. The Lakes is a good neighborhood because it has, the ceilings are 1 foot higher and the lots are bigger than Embassy and Regency, which are the neighborhoods that are fairly contiguous. So this is $219,000. And as far as financing goes, they'll consider conventional FHA, VA, and cash. So this is it. And I say this is it. This is it as far as the 1-bedroom houses go. If we take this out and we only look at homes with garages, are we still going to be with that 219? Yes, we are. And the second one showed up, Country Club Estates. Now, just because it's the lowest price doesn't mean that it's the most attractive in terms of price versus amenities. So let's just run through some of these. This is the Lakes, the one we just looked at. Colonial Hills is a fairly desirable neighborhood because of the access to Pinellas County. A lot of landlords like to get in Holiday because so many people every day drive south to the better paying jobs in Pinellas County. And if you're in Holiday, traffic is wicked in the morning going south, and it's wicked coming back in the afternoon. Some of us who don't have to drive there know that, you work around it. Friday afternoon, you don't want to be heading north. Of course, everybody is. This is in Hernando, $230,000. A little trick when we're looking at these pictures is to look at that's fairly nice back there, is to look at the kitchen. So we see how the cabinets have a little bit of a gap up here. It's not a compelling difference just looking at ceiling heights, but there it is. This is on Cartier. Beacon Square is west of 19, mandatory evacuation zone. So Country Club Estates is a rental neighborhood. It's it's good neighborhood for value, and this house looks like it's been treated well. Holiday Hill, I would rather be in Colonial. Regency Park, Old Orchard. There's some interesting challenges about the 10,000 block in Regency Park, so let's just skip that one. All right, Freeport, this is an unrepaired settlement home. The 3rd bedroom is tiny. It's been on the market for a year, and whenever you see that kind of days on market, there's got to be a reason. Likely it's just overpriced. So, well, this is okay. Look at this. This is in Spring Hill on Deltona. This is only 2 bedrooms. Deltona is a pretty main road. It's got a lot of traffic on it. All right, this has got a 2-car garage, and it's got the low ceiling in the kitchen, but obviously it's higher in the rest of the house. And 1980 house. This is in Jasmine Lakes. So they've been taking care of this house, $249,900. Now it's been on the market for 116 days, so we got to figure it's, either the price or the amenities has caused it not to get the attraction. And when it's on the market that long, a lot of people have looked at it and they have determined that it's not attractive enough to go under contract. Well, look at that. So there's some pride here. I mean, it's old style floor tile, but all right, what is this? This is in the Lakes on Penwood. So the Lakes has the larger lots and the higher ceilings. So we didn't talk about it, but there's a button here, not a button, but here it's list price per square foot. If you're looking for, how do you compare apples to apples? You've got to go to the bedrooms and baths and compare them to each other. Now, this is an above ground pool. That's not. Here's Brooksville. That frontage makes me think it's a newer built house. It's got higher ceilings. But anyway, on the comparison, you compare bedrooms to bedrooms, bathrooms to bathrooms. This is $248 a square foot at $259,000, but it was built in 2018. So this is the newest home we've seen for a pool home. It's only two bedrooms. All right, here's a nice large lot. This one might have a problem with the roof. Newer roofs have algaecide or algae. They're anti-algae. So when you see this, it's an older roof, and you've got to pass the 4-point inspection. And roofs are one of the items. This has only been on the market for 8 days, and it's only got 2 bedrooms. We're looking for something compelling. Embassy Hills with a 1-car garage. Gulf Highlands, 265 grand. I'm not a buyer in that neighborhood for that. $165 a square foot. I like that. I think this looks like it has higher ceilings. I recently was out. Yeah, well, the kitchen's got the drop down. But anyway, I was recently out with a 6-foot something gentleman, and all of a sudden, and we didn't even realize it, the low ceilings were a big negative. Okay, Aloha Gardens is west of 19, which means it's a mandatory evacuation zone. Beacon Square, mandatory evacuation zone. Now this is a brand new listing. Let's see where we are. Rainbow Oaks. Yeah, this is a hill right here. So this is not in a flood zone. But Rainbow Oaks, Autumn Oaks, and yeah, so this is west of 19, and for, if you have a choice, oh, look at my phone. My computer is frozen. Let's keep going. Yeah, if you have a choice, you don't want to be west of 19. You're definitely having okay, here we go. All right, Gulf Highlands for 275. I'm not in on that neighborhood at that price. All right, Tanglewood is really an up and coming neighborhood. I mean, that's cute. But what is the price? $275,000. It works out to $230 a square foot. I have to say, I think we can do a lot better, better neighborhood. Amherst for $244,000. I don't know. Gulf Highlands again. I can get you in a better neighborhood. Okay, this has got a 2-car garage. And it's got some gappage above the cabinets, which means it's not as low as the ceiling might be, although that ceiling looks low. You just don't know until you go out and look at it. But we're at $240 a square foot. This is a short sale. So anyone who wants to buy now, stay away from short sales. I say stay away from auctions. And this is $245 for a 2-2 with a 1-car garage. I'm sure the pool is nice. Okay, Shadow Ridge. $288,000. It has a 2-car garage and a fireplace. And they've definitely worked on it. What are we at? $188 a square foot. It's a 1,500 square foot house. This is a this is an okay neighborhood. They've got an optional HOA. You don't have to join, and it's right off 52. It's between 19 and the Veterans. It's pretty close to the hospital. We've got a really great hospital, Bayonet Point Medical Center, where I had my first stent. So this is an okay location. It's an okay neighborhood, and it's $188 a square foot. So I'm inclined to say, hey, that's interesting. I'm definitely having some trouble with my computer. I'm going to probably stop here shortly. Let's see if I can get up to 300 grand. This is 251 days on the market. And this is in Spring Hill, $209 a square foot. And the fact that it's been on the market so long leads me to believe that it's very overpriced. So we can make an offer. Jasmine Lakes for $289,000. No, thank you. Tioga, built in 1984. Nice two-car garage. I mean, this is great for looking at the houses, but it's not great for looking at the neighborhoods. I mean, you're ultimately going to have to drive through the neighborhood and see if you can. What's that? Galley kitchen, kind of got a curve in the middle of the kitchen. Nice vaulted ceilings, really attractive feature as far as I'm concerned. I wonder if this was built for a rehab retail or if this was somebody's pride and joy. 1,800 square feet. Oh, excuse me. This is not the way to say it. Total square feet. This is 1,400 square feet living area. Remember, apples to apples. This has only got two bedrooms. Here's a 322, $290,000. It's $236 a square foot. It's a 1,225 square foot house, so it's smaller. You look at the 1,400, 1,500 square foot houses, and the price per square foot goes through the roof with a 1,200 square foot house. But looks like it has older windows. I'll call them original, although I think that's an addition. But we're looking at $236 a square foot. I just want to get up to 300 grand. This is a 2-2, but it's solar panels. If you don't know the controversy about solar panels, the question is, are they owned or are they leased? Well, these people have a nice color palette. I'm not a color palette guy, but I find that attractive. $175 a square foot, 1,600 square feet. This Linden's is a main road, and it's off of Linden. Now there's Fisher. So this is a nice little area right here. Ardenwood. If that had 3 bedrooms, I would be excited about it. All right, Tanglewood, nice hood near the high school. 290 grand. Embassy Hills, 291,000. It is 3 bedrooms. Spring Hill, 2 bedrooms, $258 a square foot. I looked at this one earlier, but not on this video. Embassy for $295, please. Jasmine, 1-car garage. Here's the Lakes, $207 a square foot. They don't have a picture. Oh, it's got a 2-car garage. I definitely would have made this apparent in the picture, on the first picture. The Lakes has the higher ceilings and the larger lots. Spring Hill, 222, $230 a square foot. And we can get that down. Tanglewood Terrace with a black and white picture. Oh, I know this house. I sold the house next. This is 56. Yeah, I sold the house to the left of this last year. Yeah, they started off with a giant number on this house, and they brought it down $50,000 or $60,000. Land O'Lakes. So this is now a neighborhood. I mean, a city that we did not see. There was not one single Land O'Lakes on the list. Land O'Lakes is North Tampa in a sense. Oh, this is an auction property, so I wouldn't, whatever the price is, I'd have to add 5 or 10% for the auction fees. Okay, this is a mansard roof. Not a fan. If the valuation was different, $205 a square foot. It's not terrible. Regency Park, $299,000. We can do better. Spring Hill 322 for $299,000. Got a good roof, vaulted ceilings. It's virtually staged. Old kitchen. Come on, get me to 300 so I can end the video. Make it stop. $299 short sale. We don't want to play with short sales, although look at the price. $139 a square foot. This is a giant house. 2,100 square feet. Yeah, this is 1987, but it's a short sale, so Appian, $299, $182 a square foot. So this one might, I mean, it looks like the roof is fine, but we might have a problem insuring it. The insurance companies are they don't seem to want your business, and they don't want to give you a deal, and they won't insure anything with an older roof. But this is $182 a square foot, and I think the valuation is attractive. Tanglewood. Oh, I showed this house the other day. It's very nice. The valuation is, and this is a above ground pool. This is so overpriced. Okay, $299.9 Forest Oak. Okay, this is a nice neighborhood. Only 2 bedrooms. Looks like it's got low ceilings to me, but I guess the kitchen has got the drop down ceiling, and out here it's higher. What is this? $216 a square foot. If this was a 3 bedroom, it's almost, well, 0.23 acres, not a quarter an acre. $299.9. See, I ponder the wisdom of listing something at $299, because if somebody calls me and says, I want to look at houses between $300 and $315, these houses are not going to be on the list. But if someone says, I want $275 to $300,000, sure, this is a short sale. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage with a pool for $300,000. $260 a square foot. Tanglewood for $300,000. Tanglewood is not a $300,000 neighborhood. $305. All right, so I'm Randy Jenkins. Appreciate you watching. I should have been more prepared to put my contact information up here on the screen. Let me go ahead and grab something with my, well, Randy Jenkins. Appreciate you watching. Have a great day.